This I love. This, I don't know what he's going to say in this, and it could be a dozen things. For those of you that enjoyed watching, chunks, bits, and pieces of the Mike Lindell Cyberrama Lama Ding Dong that was on last week, you will be aware of all the stories behind this. But this is Mike Lindell clears up cyber symposium controversy. I mean, that's everything. That's how many, which one? How are we even going to do this? I love what you guys like when I play with the phone. Thank you so much, Dr. Kev's gal. And thank you, Fucko the Clown, for the bits. I appreciate that. Raphael, thank you so much. The 5-head is what's happening when Nazi gives birth to a pencil. That's hilarious. Dolly Mart, thank you for subscribing on Prime. Daddy Pez, thank you for subscribing on Prime as well. Jill Carter, thank you again. And thank you guys for the follows. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks for liking and subscribing and sharing and all that stuff. Now, I need to know that he's clearing it up. Come on. We're going to clear up this stuff, this controversy. There was apparently a controversy. We're clearing it up. That's what we're doing. Come on, man. I don't know which controversy. I can't wait to find out.
This is an unbiased, honest review of the Mike Lindell Cyber Symposium by a certified technical expert.
Okay, here it is.
Me. That's.
Is that it? Was that the whole? Hold on, let me. Here's my. What was it? Here's a review of Mike Lindell's Cyber Symposium by a certified technical expert. There you go. There it is. Wait, sorry, that was the short version. There you go. Now you know how I really think. Son of a bitch. All right, let's hear it.
That's right. I don't expect a lot of you to know this, but I'm a certified technical expert. That's what I do for a living.
A certified technical expert. Do you have a diploma that says that? Or is it just what they call everybody at Geek Squad?
So with that technical background and all 3 days of watching Mike Lindell's Cyber Symposium, I can tell you what's real.
Wait. What background? I appreciate what you're saying. Let's hear it. I'm willing to hear it. But you can't just go, I'm a certified technical expert. And because I'm a certified technical expert, did I mention I'm a certified technical expert? I kind of need to know what... Now, granted, I can't necessarily blame him. This is a clip that Mike Lindell and Mike Pillow and Steve Bannon are playing. So they may have cut that part out. But we'll see.
Yes. The things I didn't like about this symposium is that there was a lot of gray area.
Yeah, that's what I call it.
A lot of the time, Mike said that he was going to expose big things, and then he would end up just putting up numbers like this. I understand that a lot of the numbers that they're getting is from their data pool, but the data pool is pretty shallow. It's inflatable, and I was disappointed they didn't hand out water wings. I got a little scared. The pool does matter. There was a rumor going around that Mike got a lot of this data from a known con artist, but that has yet to be seen.
Let's see. Lindell data from known con artist. Now this is on Hacker News. Cyber expert J. Kirk Wybe, a former senior national security advisor, analyst, and whistleblower, also said Mr. Lindell did not have the actual data sets. He said the scrolling text was likely meant to resemble what the packet captures would look like in the data set, but were not actual packet captures, which are vital to prove the claims. You gotta love these non-technical people who think that any code on screen is basically the Matrix. It reminds me when I was building web pages in HTML in a coffee shop and a guy saw it and accused me of hacking. This is Mike Lindell's packet captures are garbage data provided by Serial Con Man, Washington Times. There we go. Cyber expert says his team can't prove Mike Lindell's... So this is the part that he was flipping out about. Now, I got to admit, this guy is a technical expert. He's got got a certificate from camp in technical expertery. And you can't expect him to be able to find really hard to find, data on the internet that has been programmed to look like pages on a newspaper that carry headlines and tell a story that he's relating, but nobody's... Okay, exclusive. Cyber expert says his team can't prove it. The cyber expert on the red team, hired by MyPillow CEO Mike Pillow, now says the key data underpinning the theory China hacked is going to. We saw this before, by the way. Lindell said he had 37 terabytes of irrefutable evidence that hackers, who he said were backed by China, broke into election systems. But cyber expert Josh Merritt, who's on the team hired by Lindell to interrogate the data for the symposium, told Washington Times that packet captures are unrecoverable in the data, and that the data as provided cannot prove cyber incursion by China. So let's see. Go back to the this guy right here. Somebody melts down. The other cyber expert admits they have nothing. That's the other guy. No proof of election fraud. Was garbage, says expert. Now, expert in quotes. Not quite this kind of, not Bill Hicks's stunt double in a hat kind of expert. We'll find out. I got nothing against this guy. I'm just playing around, by the way.
And
I mean, he is on TikTok, which is Chinese malware. I'm just saying. So he can't be that big of a tech genius because he's dumb enough to have TikTok on his phone.
Additionally, a lot of the cyber experts, including myself,
well, of course you're included. You're a cyber expert. You have a certificate.
From what we could see from the data, it definitely looked like legitimate data.
Yeah, bro. It looks like data.
Biggest key thing he did was bring together all of these people and discuss ways in which the United States may have been hacked.
May have.
The final verdict is, yeah, we were probably hacked by China. The hardware and the software kind of prove it, and we should be thanking this guy.
No, they don't, and they didn't.
Okay, we should be thanking this guy, but today...
we aren't, though. Just, Steve, just to clarify, we're not.
The Global Times, the mouthpiece of the Chinese Communist Party, is... And they always are ahead of things. And the reason is the CCP gives it to them and said, put this out. We told you, the focus is Taiwan. The focus is the American economy, the heart of the American economy, advanced chip design. Okay, we've warned about this and warned about this and warned about this.
Yeah. It's kind of like I'll Be Gone in the Dark, the story of the Golden State Killer that Patton Oswalt's late wife put together. A very serious endeavor about a very serious thing, but is a weird thing to fucking bring up when you're in a basement that's flooding, for example. Unrelated. You know, the Golden State Killer has never been caught. Thanks. We're all trying to tread water until help comes. Can you shut the fuck up? All right.
During the Trump administration, warned about this, was fought tooth and nail about bringing those factories over here to Arizona, relocating them. Chinese Communist Party, the Chinese Communist Party, and you see what's happening right now. You're seeing elections have consequences.
Right. Biden won. Shut the fuck up.
And an illegitimate election has massive consequences on every different aspect.
But enough about 2016.
And what's happening right now, you're seeing with the consumer price.
If you want to buy a voting machine at Costco, it's fucked up, man.
A report, not the.
Thanks, Amy.
Excuse me, not the consumer intention, right? Not the prices, but the confidence of our consumers. The biggest drop, I think, in 20 years in August.
You mean because of the Delta variants coming out? Like everybody was really excited and it bounced back up and then... That's what he's talking about. U.S. economy has hit some road bumps after riding high over the summer. Fewer Americans are eating out at restaurants or buying plane tickets. Gee, Delta variant much? Nah, it's probably just... It's just Biden's fucking around with the whole thing. Oh, that's a... Let's see, we'll go back to here. Dollar is higher... let's see. There it is. Dollar edge is higher. COVID hits consumer sentiment. Nah, it's probably just it's Biden's economic policies. That's what it is. The dollar edged higher in early European trading Monday, but remained near a one-week low as rising COVID-19 cases and slumping U.S. consumer confidence could pressure the Federal Reserve to delay tampering its bond buying program. Yeah, it's like everybody's talking about the bond yield being all weird right now.
August. That's a leading indicator.
You're a moron. You know what's a leading indicator? The Delta variant and redneck assholes who listen to your former boss and don't get vaccinated.
People understand that something's not right. The last segment with Boris...
Yes, something isn't right. Trumpers and maggots aren't getting vaccinated and they're killing people. Younger and younger people, including a spike in children. Fuck you.
I'm not a conspiracy theory guy.
No, you're just a liar.
At all.
You're a moron.
None of it.
None of it. I don't believe any of it. Except that whole, the moon landing thing. But only when Putin's check clears.
But I also say there's no coincidences.
Yeah, it's so dumb. Yeah, there is. Of course there's coincidences. He thinks that's a fucking, he thinks that's a zinger. I don't believe in conspiracy theories, but I also don't believe there are any coincidences. He said this multiple times. We've seen this in a bunch of different videos. Shut the fuck up. Of course there are. What do you think what do you think the whole argument about correlation versus causation has, no problem, Amy, not at all. Fear not. Big hugs. That's a lot of hay. I'm just saying. Sounds good. There's no coincidences. Of course there is.
That picture. Why?
There's also, what there is a lot of is situations where confirmation bias makes you look at a situation and judge it based on what you want to have happen, what you think the turnout should be. You look at this, that can't be an accident. I mean, honestly. Yeah, it is.
Did they put that picture?
But you need it not to be.
Out. That picture is a terrible picture. And then we look at the details. I can tell you that the Camp David, that's not a skiff. Somebody said what happens in skiffs. Jack was but that's not a skiff for Grundoons. That is equivalent to the Situation Room. Biden should be in the Situation Room at the White House. That's where he should be with his advisors, with the give and take of what's happening around the table. You can't do that by Skype or Zoom.
We're not making, dude, this isn't we're not strafe bombing somebody out of nowhere. They already know what the policy is. This is watching a policy play out and the Afghans moving in. They know this. What the fuck are you talking about? Of course he can talk to them at Camp David. What do you think it is? Like one of those nap eggs at Google?
But I will tell you, the clock to Moscow.
Oh, this bullshit about the clock to Moscow is an hour off. It's correct in relation to where Biden is East Coast time. This is so dumb.
You've got boomers on deployment right now, targeted with Russia.
Boomers? We have boomers on deployment? People in their 60s and early 70s? Really? We have boomers in deployment? Are they flying? Are they, I need to know if they were like hippie boomers or like jarhead boomers, like let's say, if they were in Animal House, would they be one of the professors or would they be the drill sergeant? Or, all right, fucking boomers. Biden's so lost he deployed boomers. By the way, if Biden had said he had boomers deployed over Russia right now, they would go, oh, fuck, man. He's 25th Amendment. You got to get him out of there.
In China, but Russia. With all.
Sorry. Run that by me again.
With Russia. In China, but Russia. The clock to Moscow. Mm-hmm. You've got boomers on deployment right now.
Yeah, some of those pilots are fucking old.
Targeted with Russia. In China, but Russia. With all those nuclear weapons.
Release the boomers. Nonenansis Luftblummers. En unbrechten Hobekschen. Achem Ulden Achdem Eil. Rungschektura General.
You have Strategic Air Command in the air right now. Okay? You have our land-based ICBMs targeted.
Why would we be nuke targeting fucking civilian areas in a civil war? What the fuck are you talking about?
Down to the nanosecond. And they have a clock that's an hour off. Are you kidding me? Number one, the incompetence of that, but there's something not right. There's
no coincidences, man. Like, Russia picks right now to spring forward, or did they fall back? Who can know?
Something not right with this.
Something's crazy about that.
Whole thing.
Seriously? Does anyone think that Biden's going, like, 1403? All right. Well, so we've already launched the missiles then? Or no, sir, that's at 1303. It's 13:03, not for another hour. It says 14:03. I'm pushed the button. I just pushed the button. I just put my handprint on the football. Missiles are away. Hallelujah.
I want to turn to Mike Lindell now. First off, Mike.
Really? Because you couldn't get fucking dumber on your own?
So much controversy about...
You're a very proud Luftbloomer. Luftbloomer.
The symposium. I will tell you, what the media didn't report that I saw with my own eyes is that the spirit of the 3 November movement, the legislators, right? Because you're
the spirit of the 3 November movement?
Path to victory here. Your path is through the
3 November. Oh, you mean when Trump lost, right?
The courts, right? With what I call a strike to the courts.
Yeah, it's a strike to the courts. I love this military talk. It's just a coincidence I'm using strike at like military strike on the courts. It's a coincidence that I am also talking to a crowd of people who would take up arms and kill judges. It's just it's not a conspiracy to get those people to kill judges. It's more of a fuck off.
The legislator, the 3 November movement, and the most...
The 3 November movement. Christ, everybody wants their moment in history.
Moving thing of your entire symposium was at the end when...
Yes, when it ended.
All the legislators that had been there, and I think a bunch of...
Yeah, the state legislators.
Might already had to leave, but I think there was...
Yeah, a lot of them. At the very end, when a lot of them had to leave.
Like 35 or 40. All sat there and individually talked about how important it was to them and how they're really forming a caucus throughout the country because it's in the state legislatures that the power rests.
Yeah, that's where you're really going to do the big change. The power rests with the state legislatures, not in the presidency or in national office, but in these dickweed, glorified, like city council members.
It says certify or decertify. And the spirit of those people to get to the bottom of 3 November is stronger than ever. And I want our audience to understand.
Well, it's because they're going to have to do it themselves because the fucking 3-day thing didn't help.
That these patriots are never going to back down. And now we're seeing...
Well, no, we know they're not going to back down. They're just going to fail, Steve. We get it that idiots hang on till the end. I mean, for fuck's sake, you and Mike Pillow probably believe we should stay in Afghanistan.
Now we're seeing the results of a stolen election. You are.
Yeah. What result would that be?
Are.
Competent governance?
Because this guy is beyond illegitimate. Mike Lindell, who was the...
Yeah, he's 180 from illegitimate.
Guy, you just had a TikTok thing up there. Who is this guy? Walk us through.
Yeah, tell us who this dude was. He's on TikTok. The kids are digging it. This is the NOV3 movement, hashtag NOV3.
This whole controversy about the data, not the data.
Not the data, lack of data, not data. Just, I'm going to call bullshit on the word data.
The county in Colorado came up about
Mesa, right? Yeah, Mesa, Colorado. I was following along, Mike. I'm sorry. Were you busy bathing? Oh, I guess not.
That's your data set, the PCAPs, and now who's this guy that says that he reviewed everything and he likes it? Is he's some grundoon, or is he somebody important? Yeah.
Wait a minute. Mike Pillow brought that footage? That's what you found. That's the review you found that proves your point. Is a fucking TikTok dude.
Yep.
No, that just came up. This is what I'm getting from all over the country, that the people that actually looked at the data that I was putting down. Everywhere.
TikTok, Arkansas, more TikTok.
We've got, what the breaking news here is, we've got a couple things.
Uh-oh.
Antifa, we've got investigators out right now. They were there, and we think they were going around with Zachary Patrizio, with Salon, a thing called True News, and they...
Wait a minute. Salon and Antifa? What, did Zach let somebody in using... That wasn't Zach I was shitting on. That was some dude from Antifa.
Through and established by Media Matters of America. Now, this report we're going to have on later.
This report, it's a very official report, and it was drafted by the tech expert who has a certificate in Tex-Mex.
Today, I have a whole team on that.
Whole team. A red team or a white team or a blue team? The black team? The beige team? Probably a beige team.
They're actually investigating. These are, we have actually had the sheriff and a lot of people investigating.
Not the sheriff? Well, get out of town.
Stuff that happened out in Sioux Falls.
Okay, hold it.
It was we're going to be telling the story of Sioux Falls for a good long while, dude.
Hold it. Slow
I like your style.
down. Slow down. Just because guys write bad stories. And Salon and Media Matters hits us every day. Just because they write.
They don't hit you. They see what you say, and then they show it for what it is. They don't just pick up. They don't just go, Steve Bannon looks like he bathes in pus. He looks like he's 80% gin. He looks like like a Marlon Perkins reject who was kicked out of the van for farting too much. That would be attacking you. If Media Matters went on and went, why is this asshole not wearing earbuds? What does he think? He's a fucking DJ? Stuff like that.
Write bad stories.
Obviously.
You're saying something different. So let's take a breath.
Very different, Steve.
Yeah, very. It's not. It's the same. It's not the different. It's different. It's not the same.
Antifa was there, and what were they doing with?
Well, it was a cookout. I mean, what are you going to do in Sioux Falls if you're the Antifa? You drive all that way, and then you can't find a vegan restaurant for shit. The rest of you, your main Antifa commander, has dietary restrictions. He has to be gluten-free. He's got a problem with peeing in public, so you gotta, every time we pull over, he's got to walk way out into the bushes, and then of course he ends up with, he's never been anywhere where there's poison oak. How the fuck was he supposed to know?
So what are you accusing Salon and Media Matters of doing? Because look.
Yeah, tell us. Hey, partnering with Antifa and letting them into the place so they could beat him up.
We're no fans of them, but they hit us every day. But hey, that's just, we say it's.
That's a separate report. They were letting Antifa in, giving them badges, and they were using masks.
Antifa don't need no stinking badges
to get in the building, saying they had to wear masks. We've got Zachary Patrizio.
Yeah, and Antifa always wears masks. Of course. So
having all the footage from the venue and doing all that. That's just one segment, Steve.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, that's.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to do a timeline of what happened.
But hang on 1 second. I just want to make sure you're going to put a report out today that's going to show that Salon, Media Matters, and others were working with Antifa or other people that shouldn't have been there to let them in the building and to cause trouble or to be observed.
Well, they weren't there it wasn't. It's not a tickling competition, Tommy. These fellas are out to hurt each other.
Observers, what's your report going to say?
Yeah, Antifa snuck in and stole all 5 of everybody's eggs.
I don't know. I'm not the one making the report. I've just got a preliminary report.
I'm just reading a piece of paper that was put in front of me by someone that it must be true. I'm reading it out to myself for the first time on your show. This looks legit. I'm sorry, can we back up just for a fucking second? That Steve Bannon wants me to take this asshole seriously, and this asshole wants to be taken seriously, and Steve Bannon invited him on to talk about this stuff, and this is what he's bringing on is a fucking TikTok video of some dude going, I think it looks legit. I'm a tech expert. I'm gonna know what's doing. And then he's gonna read this piece of shit that Media Matters and Salon were sneaking Antifa in, and they called the fucking sheriff.
Here from the investigators, and they pulled
the investigators. Who? What do you mean? The Sioux Falls CSI?
All of the
CSI Sioux Falls. Just some dude putting on sunglasses under his cowboy hat, looks like the road got killed as well. The
video cameras from the venue, and this Zachary, Steve, I just don't
shake the paper more. That's helpful too. That makes you seem really sane.
No, but I know it's not good.
Okay.
I don't know what it is, but I know it's not good. Fuck off. What? What?
I just don't know, but I know it's not good.
Okay.
Oh, we have a new favorite Mike Lindell quote.
Steve, I just don't know, but I know it's not good.
Okay.
There it is. There's the whole 3 days summed up in one fucking sentence. Thank you, Jenny.
I just don't know, but I know it's not good.
Okay.
Oh, new soundbite. It's good. Oh, good Lord. Oh, God. That's God, whatever this is, I know it's not. It's my doctor's report. My urinalysis came back. I don't know what it means, but I know it's not good. Sorry, I need it one more time.
Zachary, we've got Steve, I just don't know, but I know it's not good.
Okay.
The preliminary
But that'll be out
The preliminary report. It's a preliminary report. You can't expect too much.
today. Okay.
Okay, let me check that off. He knows it. He doesn't know what it is, but he knows it's not good. That sounds like America.
That would be out. Should be out today.
Yeah, I agree. It should be out today. I'm not going to hold my breath, though.
Big thing you're going to see right after this broadcast is on Frank's speech. You're going to see recordings
All right, we got to go over to Frank's speech now after this.
of a guy named Josh Merritt. That was out there. Josh Merritt. Now I'm going to have to bring people back a little to start this time.
Yeah, tell us the tale. Tale as old as time.
I had my own team that investigated my data, my stuff. It's in a lockbox. I didn't bring it all there.
It's at Al Gore's house.
This stuff that I got from different individuals, four actually, that's five different.
Yeah, 4 or 5. What do numbers really mean when you're questioning the outcome of an election? 4 or 5
sources. Everybody knows it took me 3 to 5 months to validate all this.
3 to 5 months. When'd you start? Last week?
100% proves everything from this election, all the PCAPs, everything, the whole election. And
so the 3 days that we all watched where you didn't show anything of the sort, that was, 3 days. Maybe it was 5 days.
I haven't changed on that. Here's what happened.
Well, of course not. You would have to admit that you were wrong, show some courage, not be a sucker or an asshole. Thank you, Jenny.
Happened, Steve. This Josh Merritt got involved. You're going to hear recordings. He set up to sabotage this. This red team was brought in. Now, remember, I hired the red team, but I had never met him before.
Well, that sounds like something that I should take seriously. You hire a red team, never met him before. That's all you need. I'm convinced.
They were first given evidence. I got stuff on Saturday at 9 p.m.
So when did you vet these assholes? Today? So you gave them the shit last week before the 3-day cyberama nama ding dong. And then during the whole thing, they were like, yeah, this is bullshit, bro. And then you were like, I might need to vet these guys.
Now things started happening. This guy is trying to discredit evidence that my team is putting down there. This started.
Why are they putting it down?
In the beginning, I'm going, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's how I started with you as well, Mike. I had the same reaction. I have that same reaction every goddamn time you're talking. We share so much.
And this went on the Saturday, Sunday. It gets up to Tuesday, and we had a lot of internal. It was just a lot of deviations with that red team. Well, then we go to do the event. Everybody knows the first morning they attacked the streams coming in from Frank's speech.
No, we don't know that. We know you have asserted that. We do not believe you because everything else you said turns out to be bullshit. So none of the impetus to prove that some of this was actually real is now again on you. I mean, we have moved past the benefit of the doubt zone a long time ago.
They sue Newsmax and OAN. And then the
no. The hackers did not sue Newsmax and OAN.
Next day, now this is really key, Steve. That night I was flying in Tina Peters, and everyone will talk about that. We can unpack that.
Yes, unpack Tina Peters. I
have a whole sheet for her.
Oh, a whole sheet for Tina Peters. Do you think she really deserves her own sheet? I think she's a bullet point, personally.
From the Colorado thing that's been blowing up.
Yeah, the Colorado thing that's been blowing up. You know about the Colorado thing that's been blowing up.
And they raided her office, so she flies in.
Yeah, she didn't fly in because they raided her office.
To Sioux Falls.
Right.
Now
we know that's where she was.
The next day, I'm hearing reports of all this as we're feeding data downstairs to the cyber rooms.
Where the red team is, who you didn't vet and who called bullshit.
Starting to hear things about this Josh Merritt, and I'm bringing
this Josh Merritt person.
Bringing it up to the red team, but then also to I have another team that's my team I've been working with for 5 months, 6 months.
So
this is an unbiased, honest review.
Damn it. Where do we go?
In the building and to cause trouble or to be fine.
You're going to hear recordings. He set up back the streams to I have another team that's my team I've been working with for 5 months, 6 months. And
5, 6, there may be 3 or 5 people on there. We don't know, but 5 or 6 months, but it may take 3 to 5 months to vet the data.
And now I get into the building and I find out that they basically shooed me off my own stage, kind of. They're going to do 5 hours. You're going to hear this in Josh's recordings. We have an hour recording of him, of the most horrific stuff you're ever going to hear of how he.
Oh shit. Well, I mean, we got to check that out. Hold on. Lindell TV, right? Is that what it is? Let's see. Is this the top? Let me see if this is what it is. It's live, so I don't know if this is the.
Well, I was like super shocked to see you walking around on the floor and things like that, you know. When I think it was 2 weeks ago, was it 2?
Checked his watch. You son of a bitch.
2 weeks ago. You know, we were all talking, and you told Pete and I 2 weeks ago, before the fact, that the PCAPs were shit. There were none. And you told us there were none, and that you and your team were already splitting up the $5 million. You were laughing, okay, because. But the point is,
this is the recording, and now wait a minute. We're watching Mike as he listens to this recording.
Is that you went into that already knowing that there were no PCAPs because you told Pete and I that, right?
Yep.
So
how'd you get that information?
Because they were giving us the precursor information to look over.
Yeah.
And it was the same pieces of information over and over up until when Conan arrived Monday night at about 9 o'clock.
Okay, let me tell you, everybody, the lie there. I did not give any information, and I gave no PCAPs. I didn't give even any information until Saturday night at 9 p.m. Not 2 weeks prior that he's telling his friend and the.
Well, then how did you hire these fuckers if you weren't going to give them something to look at to see if they could actually help or work on it? And you're reading off your phone, I call bullshit.
Or did he just hate our country? You know, I don't know here. This is disgusting.
It's hilarious. I don't know if it's disgusting. I mean, is he wearing pants? Is this a Jeffrey Toobin moment?
Thanks for Pete for this guy for coming forward with this and saying, hey, I care about my country and I want the truth to come out. And then Pete told me stuff that goes all the way back to 2014 with this Josh. We heard a lot of stuff about Josh since then. People ask, well, how did he get on the red team? Well,
yeah, I mean, like you would think that since this is our whole country and our world's going to be destroyed and this will cross over and Democrats and Republicans and the entire Supreme Court's going to go 9-0 on this, you'd think if it was that important, you would vet people. And I guess in your case, broom out anyone who doesn't buy your bullshit wholesale.
Go to the next one here.
And
in other words, In other words, he lied and said I gave him information 2 weeks prior. I didn't give him anything 2 weeks prior of PCAPs.
Okay, and before we play the next clip, again, we apologize for not being able to get that S word out of there. Here's clip 13.
Oh, the S word. Which, of course, is security.
And it's the source, and I'm not going to tell you who asked me the question. But they said, can you vouch for him? And I said, look, at this point, I can tell you that he's always been straight up with us. I can't vouch for him. Neither can I say that he's done anything terrible here. You know why? Because I don't know.
Yeah, that's how you want to run an entire cyber symposium. Everybody walking around going, I don't know what this means. I have no idea. This is it could be something, it could be nothing. But, you know, I'm going to try and foment another January 6th based on my own ignorant bullshit.
If he did not tell Mike Lindell that there were no PCAPs.
That wouldn't be cool.
I said.
That would not be cool, bruh.
That would be
a dick move.
You're telling us that that Mike Lindell already knew.
Yes, we all told him. Kurt Olson even told him that he needed. I argued with him on the plane about it. We landed, we went through the information, we had met in our room, in the conference room in the hotel, and had laid out the evidence of how we found that it was bogus information.
By the way, Mike he laughed at that first one because, it would seem, he thought that when the guy said, we told him, he meant 2 weeks ago or whatever, but then as soon as he said on the plane down there, which is them arriving at the actual event, he shifted in his seat and he started blinking more, which means, yeah, that's true. They told him it was fucked up then.
And I told you that. I had a hid. It's in a box right now in a storage facility. We have the key to it. I have one other person knows where the key at. We have a copy. We have that validated. There's 2 other people that have.
Only one other person know where the key at.
That key. We have copies of copies and then the original. Well, the piece that we brought, it was kind of like a test. I didn't know any of these guys. So all of a sudden you got one guy in the room that is kind of driving this narrative, and you were just on my plane, and you're telling me that what I spent for 5 months is invalid?
Yes, that's what he was trying to tell you.
I'm going, is it from the 2020 election? Tell me that. Can you say it's not from the 2020 election?
Can you say it's not from the 2020 election? I can tell it's bullshit. I don't know if it's bullshit from the 2020 election or not.
That was their whole objective, I believe, that Josh's was. And he got other people in the room to believe it. And realize these...
to believe it or to look at it and go, oh, yeah.
I went up to my guy, to Conan, and I brought him down the hex data that we had.
And you asked him what is best in life, and he said, to crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of the women.
On the red team, and 2 other people, and Dr. Frank, he was in the room too. They looked.
Oh shit, Dr. Frank.
Look at this. I said, why don't we? What about this? I said, what is he? Every time I'd bring something down, Josh would say there's nothing.
Yeah, he kept trying to tell you it's bullshit, Mike.
I don't know if he
just can read.
Now he says that you're going to find out later that he took data from us. He took a hard drive from us.
Oh, he's a thieving son of a bitch.
Knew what I had upstairs.
Did he take it to a lab in Montana, though? Because that might be okay.
With my guys, and I knew what I was going to set downstairs and send to everybody's computer so that it could be controlled, so that people don't, CNN doesn't take everything home with them and then
look at it
to the Supreme Court, to our country. All I wanted was them. The challenge was prove this is not valid data from the 2020 election.
Bullshit.
You know how excited people were?
By the way, this is gonna give me 1 second. By the way, this is the picture. Is it gonna come here? I feel like, there you go. $5 million prize will be offered to any attendee who can prove that this cyber data is not valid data Define valid. From the November 2020 election, the symposium is not open to the public. Invitees excluded include current politicians, cyber experts, and the media. Basically, only friendlies. So, yeah. This is going to jump ahead because it's live.
And I kept all of the files that we were given. So I have all of the files that were given to us by Conan, is what they called were PCAPs.
Yeah. Wow.
They paused on your mic.
All right, so he says he kept files, Mike.
Yeah, that comes up in the next tape, too, that we did yesterday.
How dare he keep our totally legit data and look at it on his own time rather than just in the piecemeal version we were handing out.
They have all kinds of conferences there. The internet was fine, wasn't it?
We tested the internet. We tested
Great. Yeah, I was able to stream clean flicks.
.net multiple times. It was the
I binged the entire Left Behind series with my pants off.
fastest internet upload download of any building we had ever been in.
Crazy.
It's faster than our studio. It's faster than our studios. I mean, it was. I mean, our whole team was blown away just on the TV production side, right, how fast it was.
Right, and you could see that.
Right.
Remember, everybody, there's stuff I cut out around that because he swears so bad and his wife swears so bad.
His wife.
And this is Peter Santilli and Josh Meredith. Josh is the one that came out and tried to discredit the whole symposium. He was part of the red team. Great team other than him, what he did.
Yeah, everybody was great except for him. I mean, they all cashed their checks.
Why he did it, he'll have to explain that to the country. And then there was a death
to the country.
Wife, her on there, because every other word was a swear word. It was horrific. And yeah,
it was like an Eddie Murphy special.
We had to do a lot of editing. We probably, when this gets out, because
it's probably only about 30 seconds long once you cut out all the S words and the F words.
Believe we are going to press,
like fraud and syndicate.
Done so many things that I think are criminal here, and but we have this whole thing in its entirety too. Can we show that? I want to show everybody what we've been getting from around the country.
All right, let's go to this cyber guy control.
This is what we're gonna play.
By a certified
this motherfucker,
technical expert, me. That's right. I don't expect a lot of you to know this, but I'm a certified technical expert. That's what I do for a living.
No one is a certified expert.
In all 3 days of watching Mike Lindell's Cyber Symposium, I can tell you what's real and what's BS. The things I didn't like about this symposium is that there was a lot of gray area. A lot of the time Mike said that he was going to expose big things, and then he would end up just putting up numbers like this. I understand that a lot of the numbers that they're getting is from their data pool, but...
Yeah, I hate when someone asserts something, and then when they you push them on it, they just go, I'm a cyber expert.
Mike got a lot of this data from a known con artist, but that has yet to be seen.
No, I mean, he's just complaining about it right now.
It definitely looked like legitimate data.
Bro, totally looks legit.
The biggest key thing he did was bring together all of these people and discuss ways in which the United States may have been hacked. The final verdict is, yeah, we were probably hacked by China. The hardware and the software kind of prove it, and we should be thanking this guy. This is an unbiased, honest review of the Mike.
Well, and
it's always hard to play at TikTok because it loops.
Just one of the reasons I want to come on tonight, I don't want anyone to think that I held anything back.
No, I don't think you held anything back.
It was a poison pill that on the third day, on Thursday, we were dumping all these direct attacks from China. Those got held back. Maybe in the future we will put all this out there, but we'll have
maybe in the future
to do that at a time when maybe we'll someday you'll all get to see it.
But one day, like in the Smithsonian, they'll have a 37 terabyte walk around.
Validated all. I had it validated going in. What I really needed there was everyone to say it was valid data from the 2020 election, and there isn't anybody that came out of that room or out of those rooms that cannot say that.
Well, obviously Antifa.
So, Brandon, go to the next
Here's
page.
clip 15.
I'm just curious if Lindell, because he's literally got a $300 million company, he's got a lot on the line, and it's collapsing. Was he lawyered up too? Was he getting legal advice to navigate through this?
Yes, Kurt Weave is his attorney. He was in the room. Kurt Weave kept telling him, no, the guys looked at it and the information is false. And he wasn't even listening to Kurt.
Oh, boy.
Okay,
Dude.
His lives.
Wait, the clip's still going. Right now it's over. But first of all, he doesn't even have the name of your attorney right.
No, he doesn't have the name of any of my attorneys right. Kurt Wiebe is the guy that's with him. He calls him Weeb. Those guys were the ones who were running around putting disinformation out there. And you can tie, you remember, you can tie all this back that this was an attack on Dennis Montgomery, where about 2 weeks ago, and this Larry Johnson and this Mike Zullo, they've been going around the country.
It's Larry Flash Johnson.
Every time, Mike Lindell, I never said I got this from Dennis back in the day. I wouldn't reveal any of my multiple sources. But now that they keep attacking him, I'm sick of it. Yes.
Yeah, tell him.
And say, well, Mary Fanning had this thing. Remember when we did Absolute Proof? We purposely took off things off of I don't know what they're called, the computer IDs or the MAC addresses, so people wouldn't go out there and destroy them like Dominion is doing right now to our country. They're going around to machines that are supposed to be there for 22 months.
Dominion is bleach bidding America,
and they're going this, and we have evidence of that when we get to the Tina Peters stuff here, and all the people that are going. We have people that are going to whistleblow on Dominion now. Over 40 employees they've laid off in the last 8 months. Everybody, you think they're happy? You think they're ready? It's going to be awesome. Go to the next one, Brandon.
Clip 16.
I'm just curious if Lindell, because he's literally got a $300 million.
Oh, we've already played that.
A lot of line, and
yeah. I mean, one clip isn't good as that.
Was he lawyered up too? Was he getting legal?
All right, let's go to the next clip. Sorry about that.
Like the attack on Mike.
By the way, the production on Lindell TV
show. So just please pardon me for being hasty here. So I'm interviewing Mike Lindell, right, and talking about the police report. About the attack, because obviously I said it has to be in a police report, right? I want to clarify something. Were you there in the building at the same time that took place?
Yeah, it was right after our meeting.
Right after your meeting, then he got attacked. I mean, can you describe that? Did he go into the elevator and then you didn't see him anymore?
Right. Him and his girlfriend walked off and left, went up on the elevator, and I guess went up to their room.
Okay, Mike.
Well, the guys, this is yesterday or the day. Let's see. This is 2 days. This is not the original interview with
3
Pete
months ago.
And Josh. We had him go back to Pete, call him up. Yesterday, we had Pete call up Josh and say, "Hey, I'm doing an interview."
Hope you guys are taking notes.
You see what he said there? He changed his mind now. He says that we went right up to the elevator and I came out of the meeting. I was never in any meetings after the first day. I didn't go into those cyber meetings, Brandon. I was disgusted with Josh. I did not go in there, and it was
going well.
My own team as far as putting the data down. Now, we got back from 2 couples that we were out with. There's witnesses. We have the picture of the guy that did it. And now we're going to put it up tomorrow. I just got a thing here from one of the lawyers. They're doing they're continuing the investigation.
Of the guy who poked him in the ribs during a selfie.
In Sioux Falls. I've been on the phone with the guy many times now, the investigator. He wants to, before I put this guy's picture out, there's a couple other guys that were involved, and they're tying it to him. So we do not want to, spook those guys.
So the police don't want you to do anything that would...
Yeah, don't spook him. He'll flee the country.
About this.
Mad poker on the loose.
He changed his story. First he said the police were there and escorted me upstairs, and now you just heard him. If you play it back again, play it back one more time.
All right,
this guy's a con artist.
Mike, I'm getting ready to do the show, so just please pardon me for being hasty here. So I'm interviewing Mike Lindell, right, and talking about the police report. About the attack, because obviously I said it has to be in a police report, right?
Wow.
I want to clarify something. Were you there in the building at the same time that took place?
Yeah, it was right after our meeting.
Right after your meeting, then he got attacked. I mean, can you describe that? Did he go into the elevator and then you didn't see him anymore?
Right. Him and his girlfriend walked off and left, went up on the elevator, and I guess went up to their room.
What?
It's disgusting. That is
disgusting.
absolutely disgusting. You know,
I never take elevators. Elevators are elements of Satan. What the fuck is he upset about in this description? They just had a meeting. Did they run into each other? And by the way, when he says our meeting, it's not abundantly clear that the guy saying, I don't want to get into the minutiae of this, but it seems like the guy on the recording is saying our meeting, meaning him and that other dude that he's talking to, not me and Mike Lindell. But who gives a shit?
Meeting with them, Brandon. This guy is fabricating stuff, and he told two lies.
And your attorney or Doug Frank and others.
Yeah, they're going to sue him for the poke narrative.
Those meetings can verify that, correct?
100%. And I can verify
the Supreme Court's going to overturn the verdict 9-0.
Witness the attack. We have their names now.
Uh-oh.
So this is, and what he just said there, the police put Lindell up in his room. Did you hear the first lie he told earlier in the broadcast? He told that now there was no police. You just heard. I want to.
They came later, and then you went up again after you'd come down to talk to them.
Got this from one of.
I think you're confused. That's what I think.
A guy that was out there, one of the guys at the symposium. And he said,
think about this for a fucking second. This is a live feed from Lindell TV where he's going over a recorded phone call between the guy who called bullshit on his fake evidence, the guy's wife, and some dude who supplied a recording of it to Mike or whatever, with Brannon, who he's paying for all this shit, which looks like garbage.
It's been validated and it's in my possession. Every part of it. Let's go to the next clip.
Yeah, okay. Also, who asked you to go outside that night when you were talking to Colonel Waldron?
What, out in front of the symposium?
When you went out there and then Washington Times overheard you?
No, I was just out there having a vape, and that's when Weeb came walking up to me. Kurt Olson let Weeb into the building. And then he went back into the breakout room and talked to the cyber guys in there, came outside, started talking to me, and then that Washington Times guy just popped.
Mike is another Jesse Smollett. Agreed.
In.
But when did Waldron get out there?
Not until afterwards.
Right after we and I were having a vape with Squee and Brett Kavanaugh.
Okay.
Because I asked him, I said, who let Weeb in the building? And he was like, oh, well, Kurt did.
So after you had that conversation and Washington Times guy was eavesdropping, then Waldron came in afterwards?
Right.
So
okay.
Weird.
All right.
Oh, and just so you know, not for the ramifications from this, so Flynn called Lindell. Flynn has pushed me away from everybody. Sydney has kicked me off of all of their team on working on stuff. All because of that, A, the report, and B, because I was honest.
Wow.
Excuse me.
So you got a call from Flynn?
Excuse me, it's pronounced...
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow.
I like wood.
Oh, no, that's wrong.
Wow. What?
Sorry.
I like wood.
What?
All right. Would I ever consider having Rudy Giuliani do a cameo for my intro? I think it'd be fucking hysterical, but I don't want to pay for it, because fuck that guy.
Not to unpack here. The reason I had Pete go back and ask him that question was because earlier he lied and said Phil Waldron, who's a great patriot and part of this leader of this red team. Okay, Phil Waldron was not in that meeting with Kurt Wiebe and Josh in that Washington Times. He said he was. He lied and said he was. Phil was not there. He joined later. You just heard him now.
Phil, give me a kiss, baby.
He also said Kurt Olson.
They said it's not Phil. I said it's Philip.
He goes, is he feeling guilty about Kurt Wiebe? Because he goes, Kurt Olson let Kurt Wiebe in the building. Kurt Wiebe had credentials like everybody else. Anybody that applied that had credentials that got either with media or cyber or or politicians had credentials.
Were they colored by what your thing was? Did you categorize
Kurt
it?
Wiebe did have credentials to be there. I want that perfectly clear. Kurt Olson didn't let him.
Maybe he's the guy who got him the credentials is the thing.
That's the first big lie. I just wanted everybody
And by the way,
to know.
Kurt Olson is your attorney for those who are losing track.
Kurt Olson.
Yeah, I lost track a long time ago.
He's the number. He's worked for 5, 6, 7 months nonstop for our country, and people said, "Oh, he's doing it for the money." What money? You know, they did a big hit piece in him, the Daily Beast. As long as we're talking about Kurt Olson, the Daily Beast, Swin, my old buddy Swin,
He's working pro bono
for not doing anything, and I could name all of you hosts again that aren't helping our country by speaking out for this. Bogino, Sean Hannity, Lori.
Yeah, Bogino.
Speak out and speak out what's went on.
Yeah,
in
Bogino.
The 2020 election.
Excuse me, it's Bongino. Who is indeed looking for a TV for his bunghole.
You're still in the 2020 election. That when you're talking about running in 2024, then you're not for the 2020 election because our real president is Donald Trump.
I feel you.
But I will say this: what this guy told in those lies in there. Then he says in there, he says General Flynn General Flynn never ever reached out to me during this symposium. Everybody,
what a prick!
Symposium up every part of it. Other than the corruption that came in, remember, these guys that came in.
Yeah, you didn't know
and
that.
And one of the things I just wanted everyone to hear on there, Colonel Phil Waldron had nothing to do with that little meeting with the Washington Times and Kurt Wiebe and Josh Merritt.
Right.
These guys were all in that article came out. That's minutes afterwards. Everybody,
they were
minutes.
Totally.
This is set up to try and attack the evidence I have already that I spent 5 months validating. Kurt Olson worked every single day for hours with no pay.
Yeah, we know he's a sucker
because he's all about trying to save our country.
Or he's a lunatic, and he's expecting a bunch of money on the back end from you.
These are people all over our country that have lost their job, lost their livelihoods, that they've been attacked, because that's the absolute cover.
Or who are attacking our democracy. But blah, blah, blah.
The big lie is the big lie.
Yeah, we watched the thing.
Tree knows by now.
So yes, we've heard it.
I think I hear you're saying, Mike, is that they're trying to throw up so much dust and confusion and
making me throw up
disinformation so that Americans will be so confused that nobody knows what the.
It's an excellent point, Nancy. Anyone that believes Trump is president means Trump can't run in 2024. Yeah, because it will be the end of his second term.
December,
even if he never got to do anything.
They just attack people. Dominion started this, and when they went after Joel Altman, the first guy I believe sued. When they went after him, when he had proof that they had ties to Antifa or some story.
Something. I don't know why you would even know about it. It's only $1.3 billion.
This was all, a terrible hack and takeover of our country by China. And you know what? When all this stuff came out, as soon as everyone starts raising their hand and go, "Hey, I got some too." Remember, there was like 50,000 affidavits of fraud that people.
Yeah, all of them say, "I believe I saw," which is never going to get you in trouble. It's just PR bullshit.
People were threatened. There were people in Michigan, and one gal that's shown a picture of something horrific and say, "This will be your granddaughter."
So that's the point I'm making. That a lot of this is to intimidate people into silence and to label them a kook for being involved in this.
That's why after January 6th, nobody spoke up. Oh, because this horrific thing happened, nobody knows what really happened.
Mike, stay on topic. You're listening to a recording. You're talking about what the guy's saying.
Don't even report it. They still have people in prison.
Well, yeah, they're a threat to the country. If they're going to attack police officers, they'll attack citizens.
Fear. So you put fear into people. That's why Tina Peters, she's a hero to come out because she cares about her country.
Well, if she cared about her country, she wouldn't show the passwords to voting machines on the internet.
That's why.
Russia has internet. I'm just saying.
If anyone had,
China has internet.
It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican. We never get an election again unless we melt down these machines and make prison bars out of them. That's where we're at. And you got people.
They're plastic.
Josh Merritt.
Why would you make prison bars out of plastic, Mike?
Merritt, disgusting. Go to the next one.
Clip 19.
Wow. So you're completely being
wow. Wow. What?
And that started when they put you on the plane?
No, that started that night whenever Flynn called Lindell and told him that Washington Times piece. Like, they knew that Times piece came out almost as soon as you and Debs did, like 10 minutes after that guy popped smoke.
Yeah, dude, that article hit 10 minutes afterwards. We saw you on the corner of the building, right?
Yeah, they submitted it on their phone.
So 10 minutes later, we get back to the house, and that article hit. That's probably the biggest thing that you had going against you. Well, you know, I'm just assuming that that would be a violation of the NDA if you were talking to the media, right?
By the way, they edited this whole fucking call. They could have actually typed out all the words and had them appear on screen like you see on news programs and the like, so they can go through everything that was said, because they had plenty of fucking time and they're doing a whole dedicated segment to this. But fuck me. It's better to just watch Mike Lindell listen to audio.
Source. And
Look at
that
this
information
shit.
was actually put out by Weeb, not...
Do you realize what I'm going to be doing with this footage when this is all over?
Again, he got the lawyer wrong. It's Kurt Olson. He keeps confusing it with his buddy Weebs, which is Weeby.
Yeah, Weebs, Weeby, the big Weebster. Yeah, Weeble. We call him that because when he wobbles, but he doesn't fall down.
Credit your Dennis Montgomerys, your Mary Fannings, anyone. If I
Your
gave
Mary
out the
Fannings,
other
not my
names, Brandon, that would be all over there. Just today, they tried to discredit Dr. Frank, Doug Frank.
No.
You know, they've attacked Dr. Shiva in Michigan, in Massachusetts.
What?
Anyone that's got something out there that proves that this election, the cyber attack, or any part of it, they go after him and try and discredit him and attack him. They've attacked me. Well, probably more than any person that they've ever had to attack. And they just, I can't ever take a chance of stopping.
Just so we're clear, if this is the same Kirk Wiebe, I interviewed him extensively in 2020. I don't know if I interviewed him in 2021. I have to go back.
Yeah, just look it up.
Several times. And if it's the same Kirk Wiebe, he was validating everything that we were up to. He was affirming this. He was saying that all these people...
Then he saw it.
I mean, many of them he named by name as patriots. We have the audio. We have the video. If this is the same Kirk Wiebe, what's going on here?
Well, he believed you and then he saw it.
Oh, you don't know what's real or...
We have the videos and audios. If it's the same Kirk Wiebe, we have him praising this stuff.
And then he saw it.
It's just like Josh you've seen earlier tonight where he told Pete that...
It's kind of like when... like in Jaws, when the sheriff runs out and he's shooting, and he's like telling everybody, shark, shark, and he's firing into the water and scaring everybody and blah, blah, and it turns out to be bluefish. He seemed very convinced it was sharks up till that moment.
Did meet him at the end. I took pictures, and with every single person left in that room, there was hundreds of them on the last day.
Must have been exhausted and poked.
I'll bring that up. All the legislators are so hopeful. They're going, we're going to bring it to our attorney generals, all the ground game, all the stuff that's going on in their state, all these red states that didn't think that they got hacked. And they're going, now they get it.
Now
They've
they
seen
get it.
all the presentations. I mean, everyone that was on there, all the presentations, every single one of them that were up there proved there were machines from a different direction, that it was computer generated. You got to realize that. Dr. Shiva, and he ties it back all the way to Twitter. We know where a lot of the culprits are.
By the way, if you don't know, Dr. Shiva lost a Republican primary in Massachusetts and sued the state because he thought there was voter fraud and all this shit. He dropped his lawsuit the day before Mike's thing still showed up as their star witness for, oh my God, the fraud.
Here, they figured out all this with mathematics, that 2 + 2 = 4. You can't lie about mathematics.
Well, yeah, you can with statistics.
It validates the cyber attack.
No, it doesn't. It's a statistical anomaly unless you take into account the fact that we were in the middle of a goddamn pandemic. More people voted by mail than ever. More people voted early than ever. That's why your fucking algorithm doesn't work.
Who was at the symposium saying that on multiple interviews with us.
Yeah, that's why you've seen in our country.
Good as Gold says, I am so lost. That means you're sane, Good as Gold.
The big lie being the big lie. A lot of people are going to have to answer, like, what I've seen in politics.
Oh, I'll answer, Mike.
Politicians have either a political agenda or a personal agenda. Well, you know what this...
Well, I have both, Mike. I love my country, and you're fucking with it, and you're a dumbass. I take that very personally and politically. Both of those they're like interwoven. It's like when Trump fucks the flag every time he sees it. It offends me as a human being, as a man, and as an American.
Brian Kemp's been blocking stuff for months at him and Brad Rassenberger. You got to ask these guys why. When this all comes out,
because there's nothing to see there, and you're fucking with elections.
Attorney General, Secretary of State, or Governor out there, go down anywhere. I don't care what precinct, and say, hey, we're going to take these Dominion machines, which the people of the United States bought. We paid for them out of our tax dollars.
Well, the states did.
Not just them, Smartmatic, ES&S, all of them. And go down there. Just pick any one of them. This is a call-out challenge. And you go down there and you say,
is it a $5 million challenge?
We're going to open these up. We're going to do an audit, a forensic audit right here, and we're going to pull down those packet captures out of those routers. And then let's just see.
There aren't packet captures in the fucking routers. What are you talking about?
All 50 states come back. This is disgusting. Dominion sues good OAN. Heroes. OANs are
good old OAN.
Heroes. Where's Fox? Where's Fox?
Shame on
Newsmax.
Fox.
They sue OAN and Newsmax the morning of the symposium.
Because that's when they broke their agreement.
Talk to the owner of Newsmax. This is pretty sad. He got sued because he ran my ad that Fox would not run.
I figured that was it.
And they didn't get sued, did they?
Anybody else run your ad, Mike, or turn down your ad? I said no, none of them. ABC ran it, CBS, NBC, all of them. CNN, nobody else turned them down. Nobody else but Fox.
The ones that were being sued for $1.3 billion and were concerned about that actual loss because they actually have it, whereas OAN and Newsmax doesn't.
I'll say whatever I want in my show, and people were going after them. You know what? Then you better get out there and talk about tonight about these recordings from
Well, then he ought to call and interview you.
Well,
if he can say whatever he wants, he ought to call and interview you.
Yeah, why didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Why don't you?
Yeah, why didn't they do it?
As long as it's the truth. Well, the truth is, Sean, we had a cyber symposium. And the truth is, it was attacked and hacked by like a discharged.
He is yelling at Sean Hannity now.
Anything on your show. Neither are you, Laura. Trucker tried a few times to talk.
Yeah, Trucker Crawlson, if you know. Trucker Crawlspace is his name.
It was a couple weeks ago, but none of them are talking. What is Fox doing to you? Are you guys you're so worried about your money, all four of you? You're so worried about your money and your job? You know what? Tina Peters here, she's left. She's a hero. She's hid. We have her hid out right now because she's got evidence.
You have her hid out? She's at the hid out.
Proof what Dominion's done. Take out. And then now the Secretary of State in Colorado is attacking. It does a raid.
Wait a minute. You've abducted Tina Peters?
And then another guy gets raided with 4 little kids at home. She's a hero. She's going to stand up.
Well, they're not going to run the kids out of the house at 10 o'clock at night.
Country. I call on you, all 4 of you, Sean Hannity, Lori Ingram, Tucker, and Dan Bongino.
Bongino.
At least one.
Mr. Bongino. It's Bongino. Not that I give a fuck. It's way funnier to hear him say Bongino.
That'd be telling some.
By the way, Dan Bongino is your biggest fan. Fuck you.
Radio shows. So if Fox won't let them do it, why not do it on their radio shows?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where they do it, Brandon. These guys had big influence, and it's a shame. Shame on you, Fox. If Fox, I'm going to tell everybody, if Fox went south, whatever they did, who knows if it's the Murdoch kids or whatever, that's the people I've heard stuff. Who knows why they turned on us? They called Arizona early.
I could give you 1.3 billion reasons.
They didn't talk about anything.
Dan, it's pronounced vagina.
Shop instead of the election, and talking about how Biden, has memory problems. That doesn't matter. Why don't you talk about China attacking our country? Why don't you care? Your big old American dream is going to be gone, Fox. Fox will be, whatever they've done, they were part of this cancelization. You know what? That's why I had to use all the left-wing media, all of them. People like Swin and Corrupt. Zachary Patrizio from Salon. They're in big trouble. These guys
are they? You wrote their name on an envelope?
When we talk about that, how whatever they did at that symposium, if they were tied into Antifa and what they did there,
shit.
I used to think this was just some kid that didn't know any better out of college, but he's running around with mask on, doing a lot of shady stuff there. We don't need all that media now. Thank you for the memories. Thank you for attacking me for 5 months. Thank you, Mark Zuckerberg.
You're welcome.
You, Jack Dorsey, for attacking me. But now we have a voice that's going to be heard around the world. Right now we're calling out, this is what they do to cover up. We're calling about.
By the way, you missed him saying Mike Zuckerberg, which is his anti-Semitic Jews grub for money trope that he likes to wheel out. Just in case you think he's just a like kind of a hapless loser. He's also an anti-Semite and a fucking asshole.
All the news that he called that
and he's yelling a lot.
He called
on his own channel where he has a microphone.
He did it colluded with the Washington Times, and it came out everywhere. Phil
Washington Times, by the way, is a right-wing newspaper.
There and said, this is not true what he said, and there's a little bleep down at the bottom of the Washington Times. The damage gets done, everybody.
Yeah.
The damage gets done.
It's too late.
Everything I told you was true. I have validated all these PCAPs and evidence, 37 terabytes, all the way.
No, you have not.
Every part of the election, we put up states. You want to see what it manifests to? You look on Frank's speech and you go down. We would go through every state and see what happened in your state. And that doesn't count the organic cheating.
Well, it would have to count the organic cheating, or the digital cheating wouldn't match up. See, if you flip the votes and then there was organic cheating too, that would be an anomaly that would never mind.
It doesn't count all these criminals, people that committed crimes.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of them.
Yeah.
There was a lot of them out there. Don't get me wrong. On both sides. Obviously, we don't know why would Brad Raffensperger and Brian Kemp and Doug Ducey say things. But I'm telling you, the main thing is China.
They're all in league with China.
They took our election. They hacked every single state with computer algorithms. I'm not making this up. You had all these experts that were.
No, you're a delusional asshole.
That come from all walks of life, from Shiva to Dr. Frank to Draja, all these people to Edward Solomon. You know what? You can do it in your own state. Dr. Frank's things, all you needed to go was to the Secretary of State's office, get the voter roll registration, and you could have checked it out.
Go door to door and threaten people if they voted for Biden.
Secretary of States have shut it down. They won't let the public get them now. Wonder
and in
why.
some cases, it costs thousands of dollars to get them, doesn't it?
No, they shut them down. You can't even get them. They've shut it down. They're like whack-a-mole. Every time people rise up on it, and they've tried to use fear, but we're not going to be fearful anymore in this country.
No.
You governors out there that you think you're going to get reelected or whatever, you better get behind this 2020 election. All you politicians, especially the ones that say they're Republicans.
Yeah, they're fucking rhinos. They're the worst.
What kind of conversation did you have with Lindell? He said the conversation that you had with him in the plane on the way up there was kind of odd. Did you get into an argument with him or a debate?
No, I actually went into the explanation of where the voter fraud actually started, going back to the Time article that talks about Trumka. Then I explained to him about electiontaskforce.org. I told him about all of my research, of which he had never even read any of my affidavits. He knew nothing about any of my research. And that's what the discussion on the plane was.
Well, that would involve vetting.
How did you know that there were no PCAPs, though? Because from what Lindell said is that nobody had access to any of the files to determine whether or not there were PCAPs until...
No.
Oh, go ahead.
So they had, one of the guys on the red team had set up a hard drive that we had all been looking into information. I believe it was starting Saturday, Friday, Saturday night, whenever we looked over it. And it was information that Conan was putting on the drive for us to look over. I saved all of it. I have all the information, including this .bin file that's a terabyte, that whenever we started getting other files, it showed it came from a noise generator for a Wi-Fi testing system. They do.
Wow. Do they know that?
No.
Wow. They don't. Oh, wow.
I save everything, dude.
Yeah, dude, you gotta, be real careful. Don't tell anybody about
Wow.
That's
right,
amazing.
Mike?
Yeah.
So the security on this Wi-Fi router creates general data noise to fuck with anybody who's trying to PCAP what's on it, and that was what they were looking at.
Given that hard drive to a person at the symposium, and we have that person as a witness too, and that person that got it, he was told that morning, because remember, Josh was kicked out. I would not let him in the building, but he gave that to a person, and then he was told that that there was a threat of a poison pill. don't know for sure what was in that, or what's going on with that. But this is horrific. And I'm telling you, on that plane, this Josh is lying. You're going to tell me where election things started? I've forgotten more about this fraudulent election than most people will ever know.
I believe that.
They just consume me. I have done every ounce of my being every day is to try and save this country. And this jerk sits there and tells me he's telling me about election stuff on my plane. I told him that our biggest fight was the media. I'm the one that said to him, I said, here's what I want to get out of this symposium. I want everybody to validate this was data from the 2020 election. I want all the legislatures from hopefully be represented with all 50 states. By the second day we had Rhode Island was the last one to come in. We got all 50 states.
Sweet.
All 50 were represented there. I wanted to.
Whoops.
Did we lose Mark?
But mathematicians, everybody that could be there and show all this. And here this guy totally lies. He lies and then he says that that he had data 2 weeks prior. He got it, remember everybody, 9 o'clock on the 7th, the Saturday before the symposium. I wasn't going to give any of those guys data, any PCAPs before that, to have them put out in the news. And just for this reason alone, what if? It's our country depends on one link to discredit this. One guy like Josh Merritt. That's exactly why I didn't do it, and that's exactly why I want everybody to know I have all the information. I want people that you can get out there and you newspapers you can go attack Mary Fanning's and Dennis Montgomery's all day long now. You Larry Johnson, who out there, criminal, whatever he's doing. And your Mike Zulu, who bothered my family. He was telling people not to come to the symposium. I have multiple sources, starting with what Mary and you gave me back on January 9th. People poured in information, packet captures and data and everything else. Kurt Olson had to sit there every day and sort through because everybody was pouring in information.
Right.
He's a hero. We're all heroes. All you guys are heroes that were out there. Anybody that stood up and lost everything they had to fight for our country. Now it's time for all of you out there. Don't live in fear anymore. I plead. I've got Tina Peters here. I'm gonna tell
one more clip, Mike. Let's go to 21.
Yeah, right. Don't get to Tina Peters yet.
OAN, we're coming up on the top of the
We've got 5 minutes left if we're going to stay with OAN. Here's the last clip.
You have a hard drive or a thumb drive?
I have it stashed on an M.2 external hard drive.
You do? Okay, can you share it with me?
Let me ask my lawyer. I think I can, but that violates the NDA.
Oh, it does? Okay.
Yeah. Because the NDA specifically mentions that we're not allowed to pass the files around.
Okay, Mike, that's that clip.
That's interesting.
Remember when earlier in the tape of the day before, the other tape when Peter questioned him, he said he had already broke the NDA. Remember that?
Yes.
He said, yeah. He said, did that break your NDA? Yes. He didn't care about an NDA. He wanted to discredit Mike Lindell and this symposium for whatever reason. Maybe he has a personal agenda, whatever it was. He got in with the wrong people, if it is. But I will tell you this. He also... he discredited. Sidney Powell had a case. Now, I want everyone to know this. Sidney Powell had a case. I don't know how far back it went, but he lied on his credentials on that case. So I want everybody to know what happened now. That judge that made a ruling on the second day of the symposium, that judge in Washington, D.C., and if I had his name, I'd call it out because he made the worst decision. I believe he was compromised too. I do believe that because nobody in their right mind would let these Dominion lawsuits go forward. It's disgusting, disgusting, and disgusting.
Is it disgusting, though?
Let that go through our First Amendment right of free speech. It just got wiped out right there because now anyone's going to be afraid to speak out.
I'm not.
Speak out forever going forward if that's the...
No, I'm fine.
Get sued. People that have money, they got to wait. Well, should I get sued or say something? Well, let me tell
you. I think just say something, and you probably won't get sued if you're not psychotic.
All your First Amendment rights. It doesn't matter if you have your First Amendment rights if you don't have a country. So I'm going to make
That's true. I mean, basically, we are Afghanistan now. Thanks, Washington judge.
We're going to keep going. I don't know if OAN's going to stick with it, but Tina Peters. She got something, and I'm going to read this stuff. She's a hero. Everyone needs to use her for an example.
Yes, I agree. Someone needs to make an example of her.
But she's going, I don't have a country. You know, I don't have a country. And she's come out and it's going to.
I'm a man without a country, Frank.
So many people like Tina that are going to come forward now because they were suppressed. And Dominion whistleblowers.
Oh,
wow. These people laid off 40 people.
What?
You know what? It's kind of funny in our country, and shame on Fox News and the rest of the media that they only we never went to Dominion and said, "Hey, everybody, you're suing everybody.
What?
Good Americans. What do you say to that, Dominion? Why won't you just open up your machines and show us what you're hiding? If you have nothing to hide, what are you?"
Well, it's proprietary software and hardware, and if our enemies know what it contains, they can hack it. Like if you're worried about the Chinese hacking our voting systems, the last thing you want to do is publish in the public domain the contents of those machines and the software. One would think.
One precinct, because what you're going to find, it was across the country, because I already have that evidence. We're going to take all this.
Well, yeah, I mean, Trump tried to cheat clearly, mainly using ES&S machines. That's how he got Florida, Ohio, Texas, and Kentucky. But he lost, so it didn't matter.
And
that's why Republican governors and secretaries of state don't want you to look at the shit and do audits, because they're afraid you'll find out that they tried to help win, the state for Trump and he lost, and if they're afraid to find out that you'll realize that Trump lost by even more.
It'll be 9-0 because this evidence is non-negotiable. It is non-subjective.
It's subjective. I'll negotiate.
When's that going to happen? I don't know. So the fake news over here can say, Mike said this date. I don't know. We're putting everything in God's hands, and we're all praying for the truth to be revealed.
All right, special report from Lindell TV tonight, being carried also on One America News. Thanks to One America News for carrying it. We appreciate your watching. We will broadcast this entire 2 hours immediately on frankspeech.com for those that want to see it or share it with friends. It will be rebroadcast immediately as we go off the air at frankspeech.com. Thank you again to One America News for carrying this.
Fuck. So OAN carried 2 hours of this horse shit?
We'll be right back to more like Lindell TV, my pillow. I don't buy that shit 'cause it's made using money that is used to charge to the Capitol. These are the slippers I wear when I hit a cop. These are the towels that I wipe all the blood off. It's not mine, it belongs to the moon at the top. I fell asleep and my dog sleeps on this, unless I need him to bite into a police officer on January 6th. These are the towels I use. They come in 3 colors. They come in 3 colors. Don't buy them. Here's our big Nazi symbol that Brandon House paid $1,000 for on Fiverr. And we started all over again, yes. And we'll be right back after these messages.
Come on. I need more cowbell.
8:02 Central Time. We're back because Mike.
By the way, this is the top of this thing, which we missed. We'll do about 10 minutes of it because fuck this. I'm going late anyways because I missed you guys. So we're just going to add a little on tonight. Hang out if you feel like it. Yes, now it's the time for Spraches for every dance. This is Brandon House, and it's Mike Lindell, and I can't pause too much because it jumps ahead.
While you're all online here. Did we go to a My Pillow commercial? Is that what happened?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what happened.
To support this. My 2,500 employees, that's the best way you can support me.
Yeah, I'm not going to help you fucking... one of the best ways you can support Mike Lindell's employees, especially if you're Mike Lindell, is to not mention My Pillow when you're trying to fuck up the country.
Today, 11 a.m., it's going to be a Mike Lindell report, and 6 p.m. Both of those are Central Time. 11 a.m. tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central Time.
Turbo.
LTV.com and right here on frankspeech.com. Now, you're going to get... tomorrow, we're going to talk... I was going to get to Tina Peters tonight, but there's too much information here, and we've had...
Welcome to TMI with Mike Lindell.
Tomorrow at 11, and we're going to have a lot more for you then.
I'll be there.
Have a report from all the Antifa, all the stuff with the media, and all the stuff that went on with like your salon with Zachary Patrizio, and we're going to see how it all ties together.
You know his name, but you don't know Dan Bongino's name. That's fucked up.
And I know Laura Logan wants to come on. Once we do the piece on the Antifa, she's going to show us. She's been going after Antifa that have infiltrated the media. Are you aware of this, Brandon?
Yes.
Yeah. She's done a lot of stuff on that, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So we're going to be having her on. I'm going to try and get to people on tomorrow at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. I'd like to get a report where you can get it right from maybe right from the red team, maybe right from our attorney, maybe Kurt Olson will come on and make a statement. We'll have to see. But you guys, this was an attack. And you know what? We're not going to take it. We're not going to take the lies. This is where we have our voice now at frankspeech.com. You need to reach out to everybody you know and keep getting them here and getting them here.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Smash our voice. But it's big enough now where you know what? We're able to go out. Hopefully these guys took these sound bites from this Josh Merritt. Now, if we hadn't had Frank's speech and I would have came out there and said, wait a minute, Josh Merritt, he did this, and nobody would have heard it, Brandon.
OAN is playing this whole fucking thing, so clearly you could have.
But this was a good thing tonight to bring this out. I'm going to say it again. On January 9th, the first piece that I kept it quiet for your protection, Brandon, for Mary Fanning's protection, and for you two guys, I did not want everybody. They were the first. They got me on the phone and said, hey, these machines, and this is what happened. And I'm looking and I'm going, wow, that explains everything. That explains the non-residents that voted in the dead people and stuff.
Wow.
So I grabbed onto that.
Wow.
I didn't just, I didn't talk to you.
Wow.
I think I talked to Mary a couple times after that. She was a wealth of information that was most amazing information. I had people from inside the government, people that I hired and people that I trusted, listening to her on the phone with all this stuff. She didn't have the data stuff. She had the background.
He's talking about when he got her and went to Trump's office.
She's like a walking encyclopedia. I've never seen anybody that knowledgeable, ever.
Well, it's very easy. You can sound very smart if you can just pull, details out of your ass
and then people started flooding me with other information.
Yeah, apparently you drown in it.
But
lack of oxygen has affected your reasoning capability.
From different planes within 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks and it all. But you know what? Here's the thing. What I found out is all data and packet captures, what you find it's all the same. The truth is all the same. You can only have, if you send something through the internet, Brandon, and you take a snapshot of it, it doesn't change if two people get snapshots of it, or if a router in Maricopa County gets a snapshot, or if this guy gets a snapshot. And they've tried to...
You get a snapshot, and you get a snapshot. So why are you keeping the shit back? Why aren't you just passing it out to everybody? If it's the same, and you know it'll be verified by anybody else who got it, why don't you... Why are you keeping the 37 terabytes hidden in a locked box?
All the data, and I have it in my possession.
Yeah, give it out.
I'm telling you all out there, quit telling me and quit attacking the Dennis Montgomerys and the Mary Fannings. I validate them both. They're real. It's 100%. So,
based on what, pillow fuck?
Know that they were part of the people I got stuff from back then. they would have been attacked just like, if I gave out those other names right now of my team, like Conan got exposed and so did Todd because of this Josh Merritt. Now, you know what? He fears for his family. He's out there and he fears for his family. I'm going to probably have to move them to another location,
Yeah, you're going to have to buy them a new house. I'm sure dude, Mike, I'm so afraid after that Washington Times hit piece. I think you need to buy me a house in a gated community.
This stuff has been, and it's so they're going, well, Mike, where did you get your information? Where did you get it? You know what? I tell them, I've been saying I got it from multiple sources, but the most important thing, I have validated.
No, you haven't.
It's Montgomery and Mary Fanning, everybody. If Mary wouldn't have brought that, if you and Mary hadn't made that call on January 9th, I wouldn't have
paid you $15 million in 5 fucking months.
Greatest treasure in the history that of the American heroes knew or talked about this stuff and had it validated. And Dennis Montgomery having this data, having these packet captures, and these other 3 that I'm not going to mention their name, or they're going to get attacked too. Where I heard from them back then and did this validate. This, you guys, I want every person out there to know, quit calling me and feeling sorry for old Mike that I got disinformation. I am so sick of that. You know why?
Because you still believe the bullshit?
Dollars, people like Conan and others validating this data, and you know what?
And that Mike is why when there was no one else to turn to that had the platform, the voice, the influence, and the finances to validate.
I even said it, and the finances.
That's why I called you and conferenced in Mary, because I said,
we went, here's a sucker.
The courage, the finances to validate.
The finances. Can you say finances one more time?
At least tell the country the authenticity and veracity of this information. And you took it and did your own research from there.
Absolutely. Now, did I sound the alarm and try and get it to the president on the 15th of January? Yes, I did. I didn't know how big it was. I didn't know how, I had to go on. I knew that our country had been attacked through computers, and I didn't, did I have time in 6 days to dig in? I did did a lot of due diligence in 6 days.
Sure.
So what I did, like any other American would do, I tried to get it to the right people at the White House. That's the first thing I did. And I find out later a lot from these other sources, a lot of other people that are heroes, like Sidney Powell, that went out there. She had a lot of this information about machines. She had a ton of it. So did Rudy. They all did. But you know what? They used everything they could to discredit them about this cyber attack, every single thing, including Josh Merritt lying about his credentials so it gets thrown out or whatever it did. And then now they use that case that this judge made this case now in D.C. move forward on the second day of the symposium.
The symposium.
Here, you see a pattern. I look at it like this. Maybe this will actually maybe I should just tell every person I got everything from. The problem is, just like Tina Peters.
Yeah, I would do that.
Go hide her, and then Josh rats her out and says it was in Texas, Brandon.
Yeah.
So then I got to go move her, and these people that have come forward, I've given them.
Why the fuck do you have to move her? She's a fucking county clerk in Mesa, Colorado. She's a grown woman.
So many people come forward that they can't attack all of them, like that vicious Secretary of State in Colorado. Well, you know what? We have proof now of what Dominion's out there doing, what they're doing, deleting files and all this other craziness they're doing to try and cover up. Remember, we were going to make a movie, everybody, called The Absolute Cover-Up.
Yeah.
You're living it, everybody.
Oh, good. So you don't have to make it.
It saved us a lot of time.
Excellent. I don't have to, obviously a lot of production goes into those piece of shit docufilms.
You just seen it here tonight, what Josh Merritt did to the symposium and what that guy did, and these people involved, whether it was, all the people and the stuff that were there, the media that was there. It's funny, you don't hear from the media tonight. We'll see what they come.
Yeah, there's a whole Afghanistan thing going on, and then COVID, and there's a lot of real shit happening.
there. If Fox got involved, every state would do an audit, and this country would be, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, everybody would jump on board. And why is that? Why won't anybody let the order Dominion to open up their machines? Open them up. Let's open them up.
Why? Why are we going to expose the proprietary insides of our voting machines to the whole fucking world?
Well, when we had Dr. Shiva on there, these guys are all these people come from all walks of life. These are the people that stood up.
They come from all walks of life. I mean, they're all Republicans and they're all Trump supporters, but like of all types.
He found in his election a primary in Massachusetts 60-40, 60-40, 60-40, 60-40 in every single precinct and county that had machines. That had to be done by what? Computers, everybody. Dr. Shiva dug in. He was his own lawyer, a brave American.
He lost like 59.6 to 39.7
degrees. He probably has more degrees than most people. He's forgotten more things than most people ever know. But he dug into.
I would work on that. Maybe there's a pill.
But who's behind it? And that was one thing I want.
The Republican Party, actually. It was a Republican primary.
It says Twitter. There's one.
Twitter rigged an election in Massachusetts.
Yeah. So many others.
And yes, Dr. Shiva is a fucking moron.
But the media is the number one. And right now, what OAN did tonight, airing this, and Newsmax is stepping up, and all of us, everyone out there, we can all your podcasters out there, everything, there should be one conversation.
That's right.
The election of 2020.
That's right.
Period.
I know. It's the funniest conversation we can have.
All the things you're seeing happen are manifestations of that.
I know. When Biden got elected and he started doing the shit I actually wanted him to do when I voted for him. Yeah, there's a correlation there.
Employee out of fear says, well, I can't do this, or I'm going to lose my job, and the employers are making rules because the government's telling them do this. This isn't America. This is the last light of the world. We are in the last. This is it. This is the time. This is the turning point
Trump
in history.
President,
like I've said
America
before,
fucking
the greatest
sucks.
time ever to be alive.
That's
because
right. Folks, listen to Mike Lindell. America, you're shit unless Trump is running you. Unless Donald John Trump is your president, you really don't have any hope. You've been crap till now. You've never really done anything worthwhile ever in the world, and until Trump is reinstated, you're just you're a shithole. Let's just tell them, Mike.
The things I put up, for some reason, Twitter didn't like that. I thought, well, that's weird. I had very few things, that they had covered up. But boy, as soon as you put up that one thing that I guess came from a chart from Dennis Montgomery, that this little piece put up, it was all over Twitter. And then boom, 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 they started covering up. And then all of a sudden, everybody, every time I'm out there validating this from multiple sources.
Which you didn't do.
And they bring up, every time something came up like absolute proof or anything like that, oh, that's Dennis Montgomery. He's a con man.
Yeah.
You know what? They're lying. Do you ever think, what if they're
lying?
Larry Johnson? Why are they doing this? I have seen it, Brandon. I have seen it. I have it all. And these people that are heroes, they're going to go down in history. Dennis Montgomery's a hero. Mary Fanning's a hero. You're a hero. Kurt Olson's a hero. Conan's a hero. Todd's a hero. Sidney's a hero. All these people. Rudy's a hero. Anybody that fought for our country and did not give up in that 2020 election because it was hacked. This isn't about Donald Trump. But you know what? But we can sure see if you don't have the politics, how they affect us. Think of what Donald Trump did for our country. You go back to December 2019, all the great decisions and promises he made, he's still our president. Any governor out there that says any different and they don't talk about the 2020 election, and you better hang those signs all over our country, Trump 2021. That's just going to be a great bonus to getting rid of all these machines and having fair elections with piece of paper and defending our country on this attack. That'll just be a bonus, having the greatest president ever back in office. And whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, you're a Democrat, I'm really sorry. China picked you, okay? My friends that are Democrats, they're going, this is horrific what's going on now. This is horrific, the stuff that's going on. I went to fill my gas tank. I couldn't believe it. I go, what? I mean, it doubled. And this isn't, everybody, you got to realize, when they laid off 50,000 union jobs on the day of the inauguration.
Yeah, the Keystone Pipeline, which they ran on and Obama wanted to do.
Biden and Kamala Harris, I think everybody believes they're puppets because they're, of China.
No.
Because nobody would make those decisions to keep
and giving Afghanistan to the Taliban. I did a whole show last night. Who benefits from that? China. Who wants to build motorways through there? China. Who wants to get minerals out of there? China.
Good luck.
So apparently, Biden just gave.
Who wants to the Taliban communicating with the Uyghurs in China? Oh.
This is what I'm saying. Right now, what's going on, we're in a race here, everybody. We're in a race.
Is that why you're talking so fast?
That doesn't help either party. And I heard they gave them all kinds of equipment and everything, too. These guys,
they're grabbing up all kinds of weaponry.
These veterans, our military, these guys fight. They're proud. They're Americans. Whatever happened, you salute the flag. You stand up for the flag and for our country. These guys fought and fought. And now you just say it's all for nothing because we're letting China take our country through an election? And can't people see it?
What the fuck?
To the Democrats out there. I mean, these guys like your Zachary Petrinza, that's not a Democrat. These guys are evil, corrupt people that have.
They're lizards. They eat baby milkshakes.
That are pushing the narrative to the Democrats. My friends that are Democrats and liberals.
Yeah, you have a lot of them.
Say to them, go look at what's happening. They opened the border. People are dying from fentanyl. Human trafficking. This doesn't make sense. Bringing new viruses across the China man.
New ones.
This is what they're doing. Those guys don't have to get vaccinated, but you do in order to do your job. That's what's going on. 50,000 union jobs gone. To do what? To
stop Canadian shale oil from seeping into our aquifers.
Everybody, not just the gas where they benefit.
And stop them from poisoning Native American land.
Buy right now, it raised the price because of shipping and the shortage we have of raw materials, of stuff coming for any product.
Yeah, but specifically Chinese stuffing for pillows that are made in America.
Follow the dots. And you know what? It's going to open a lot of people's eyes. And I'm looking forward to all the people out there. When you talk about politicians, now is your time. All of you your federal senators and congressmen, your governors, your secretary of states, you guys better wake up. And I'm even talking the Democrat ones because you're going to have to explain. Sure. You're going to have to explain, and very soon, the things that you tried to bury and let people bury
Jesus
the
Christ.
2020 election. I'm telling you, and I'm going to do another plea. All you, and we've got a lot right now. If you're a Dominion employee and you were laid off, and you know that this was done.
You mean between elections when they let some people go, or when they rehire people, or they have a whole turnover of a team?
Safe place, you're a patriot. You don't need to live in fear anymore of them hurting you and doing something to you because you know something.
They're not going to hurt you.
Everybody needs to stand up. If you're out there and you used to be afraid, I can't stay, I back Donald Trump. You know what? I'm
not afraid to say that. It's just not true.
I can't talk about machines because of why? Because
you're lying and you're talking out of your ass.
Might let me go, or I'm not gonna. I have to take a vaccine because my employees might let me go.
Your employees might let you go. Who gets fired by their workers?
Talks about, or I gotta let you can't talk. It's hush hush in the office. You know what? If anybody out there living in fear not. I'll take the fear out of it. Thanks. Come to me. We're going to get a thing up on Frank's speech by tomorrow. It's going to be up there, a form. You fill out if you know something, you want to whistleblow, if you've been living in fear.
Yeah, it'll be up tomorrow.
If you have, even if it's anonymous, Jesus. If you know something. We're going to blow it out, everybody. And here's another thing every American can do it. Everyone that was at that symposium, all 50 states. Get engaged on there's all kinds of great groups.
I'm engaged.
Your governors, go to your secretaries.
Well, I'm my way of engagement is not going to my governor because I'm fine with Gavin Newsom. I'm going to vote for him in the recall, for example, because I think he's doing fine. But and my Secretary of State is fine as well. The way I'm engaging is by looking at your bullshit and making fun of it.
It doesn't even take that long. Get the PCAPs out of the routers and do the audit.
Yeah, that doesn't even exist.
And the same thing.
Get the PCAPs out of the routers.
From the extrapolated from.
Do you squeeze it? Do you have to twist the router, or do you milk it? What are you doing, Sam? I come here to get the PCAPs out the router.
State and for the counties too. Of all these,
is he ever going to play this fucking audio from this guy?
6 swing states. We had this at the symposium. You could put in a state. What happened in my state?
I have not called Chief Justice Roberts yet, but I will. That's on my list, Gratch.
Down below, click on it, and you see what it did to your state. New Hampshire went to Donald Trump, not Biden.
No, it didn't.
To Donald Trump, not Biden. Wisconsin, Donald Trump.
Texas, Biden.
Pennsylvania, Donald
Florida,
Trump. Georgia, Donald Trump. Arizona, Donald Trump. Nevada, Donald Trump. But every other state, every single one that went red, every single one, it was a lot more red. They took 1 million votes out of Florida and Texas, everybody. And that was checked out by 3 different things. Draja was on the stage, and she did the mathematics, and her numbers matched what we already have from the people.
It's almost like the details from the election are a known number. The details from what you would need to win are a known number. The fake votes are a number you can create out of thin air, and that's a known number, and you can create equations out of this.
President or politician that is for the people will respond because the stuff, man.
Yeah, they are. I mean, Biden's infrastructure bill, for example, has got like 65% favorability even among Republicans.
Party, we're not a racist country either. We're as far from a racist country as you can get. I spent a lot of time down in downtown Minneapolis. You sit and tell that to my friends that we're racist. My Pillow, we have 2,500 employees. 500 of them are probably liberal Democrats, and we have every race from black, from Hispanic to Asian.
That's all the liberal Democrats?
Question every one of them. We don't think about this as like politics. None of them's going to say, oh, Mike, boy, he just won't give up because he wants his friend Donald Trump back in office. Are you kidding? If Donald Trump lost fair and square, I'd be the first one to say, I'm not going to go out there and say, oh, there's fraud when there wasn't. Give me a break. I've had better things to do. My company's been attacked, my employees, everything, but they know I'm fighting for our freedoms for every single American. I told Jim Acosta when he called about 3-4 weeks ago, I go, Jim, don't you get
Holy shit.
it? I said, just like I told CNN the other day, just for a minute, I asked that reporter, I said, what if I'm telling you is true? Would you care that China attacked our country? And finally he said, well, yes. And I said, well, then don't you think for 1 minute that people should go around and open up the machines and just to check on it?
Well, we do have those. We have Secretary of States. We have verification processes. They run dummy elections to check them. There's a lot of stages in this. Why are you pretending there aren't?
I forget his last name for the CNN, Drew Griffin. Drew Griffin sent me a nice postcard, a nice thing, thanking me for the interview. I like Drew. Now, there's a reporter. You know, he was there.
He's also Antifa. I'm just saying.
And I know he works for CNN, but I'm sorry, I give him a lot of respect. The ones behind him tell him
shame on Fox.
Questions, that were behind, these hit job lady behind that did the interview. But you know what? That's his job, and he's doing this, and maybe he had some sincerity, but he was very sincere when he sent me that card because he knows. He did tell me this, Mike. All I know is you believe you're right, no matter what.
Yeah, we all believe you're gullible and stupid.
I'll leave everybody with this one more time. Okay. Jimmy Kimmel said to me halfway through.
Kimmel, not Kimball.
Foot.
That's Dr. Richard Kimball you're thinking of from The Fugitive, who, by the way, did not kill his wife.
100% I would. The Washington Post came to Minnesota, went around and asked every one of my acquaintances, enemies, friends, didn't matter. They couldn't find one person to say that I would not do that. Not one. They couldn't even find anybody to lie. And that's it. And I'll tell you what, halfway through that interview, and this kind of says it all. I was talking to Jimmy, and I said we went to a break, and we talked about where our country's been divided.
The blackface conversation, we've heard this before. Jesus Christ.
They even attacked.
It was the one-armed man that stole the election.
Blackface stuff in the 90s, whatever he did, I don't even know it all. And I said, look what they tried to do to you last summer, attacking you. And he turned to me and said, yeah, but Mike, I did something bad. All you did was back a person you believe in. Well, that's partially true, Jimmy.
Yeah, but he also funded some of the people that ended up on January 6th. So there's that.
Met him on August 15, 2016. When I was attacked for is when I started calling out this election that we were attacked by China through a cyber attack through Dominion machines and other machines. Was attacked. There's a big difference there. No
posters
be attacking me because this has nothing to do with Donald Trump or Joe Biden. This has to do with our elections. Our election, when I'm trying, and I've never said from day one in that interview, I've never badmouthed the Democrats. You'll never hear me do it. You'll never hear me do it, Brandon. I'm going, you know what? The Democrats warned us about it in that movie Kill Chain. They all warned us about this. Every one of them going, yeah, so we got to worry about Chris Krebs, who said it was the best election ever, the most secure. 3 months ago, he's getting interviewed. He says, what's the biggest threat to our country? A cyber attack right down to the local races.
By China.
By China. By China. He said that too. I just want to ask, I'm going to ask this. All you politicians out there, all you governors, you got my number. Why wouldn't you call me up? Why wouldn't you call me up and say, hey, we're going to do an audit in a little place here? You know?
Because you don't deserve that kind of attention.
Oh, if you're the government, I don't know what's left there, though. I don't even trust anything in the government. If they did call me, I'd probably go, talk to the hand. We're bringing it to the Supreme Court because I don't trust any of them.
They are part of the government. They're the third. Never mind.
Right before the inauguration, he said that we were attacked by China or a cyber attack. Do you remember that, Brandon?
Yes.
That's
the former director of national intelligence.
Right, and he was there, and he said we were attacked. Bill Barr, where are you? I would love to interview Bill Barr and say, how did you say back in November that this election, that wasn't enough to overturn the election? You didn't look, Bill. And then you make another, you double down this spring. Who's getting to these people? I don't get it. We as an American people need to see stuff. We need to uncover all of this
stuff.
I don't even know if we want to wait to get this to the Supreme Court. We need to right now call your governors and stuff and your attorney generals and say, just audit any county.
Yeah, just any county.
Dominion. What they've done is criminal. They're criminals. That Secretary of State in Colorado, what she's trying to do to Tina Peters, who's an American hero, because she's got something on Dominion. Give me a break.
Dude is full on flipping out. Just for the record, by the way, yeah, somebody in the chat room did bring up the fact that he's saying Biden and Harris not only are bad people, but we went straight past socialism to communism, that they're communists and they're destroying our country, and that in terms of like Biden being illegitimate, I mean that's you could take that as like a generic one because it's about the election, perhaps. But the idea was that Biden is. Stole the election. The Democrats were part of it. China did it through the machines, but that Biden and Harris have taken advantage of it and turned us into they are destroying our country. They are currently destroying. So they are anti-American. They hate the country. Which I would list as negatives. There, and by the way, they are not watching this.
A lot faster. Fox is shown around the world. These hosts that work there, and you're going, oh, I got my job. I see Dan today going, I say what I want on my show. Dan.
This is a good freeze.
Are you afraid of Sean Hannity? You know what? Tina Peters doesn't have a job right now. She's afraid for her life. She's out there. She's willing to risk it all because she knows what has happened. She's seen what has happened, what Dominion's doing with this cover-up. Your country's gone.
Why are you
going to sit there? You guys will get retired of reporting the weather. You're not reporting nothing. You're not reporting anything. If you can't get behind these people and keep going.
Honest to God, why is Tina Peters afraid for her life? What's she going to get? Max 2 years if finds out that she participated in a security breach like that? What the fuck are you talking about? She's scared for her life because she knows you'll buy her a house in Texas. What? I don't even understand what the fuck he's talking about.
All this stuff, is that true, Sean? Is it true that I got to...
He's yelling at Sean Hannity again, which I'm for.
Turn down the ads. Is that true, Sean? Say it on your radio show. I'm calling you guys out. I'm tired of it. We're all in this together. We've all lived the American dream. You need to get out and be journalists again. So what if you get...
They were never journalists. What the fuck are you talking
everyone
about?
else in the country? Come on, Sean. You can work at the pillow factory.
Yeah, that's what he wants to do. Go from $90 million a year to working in the pillow factory.
If you're another one...
for America.
If your podcast has not been kicked off of YouTube or kicked off of Vimeo, you're not out there talking either. What are you worried about your...
I've been kicked off before. I'm back on, though. But what I say is honest and true. I'm not concerned.
Over here, and you can start speaking it out. And you know what I'm talking about. I can sit and name you all. In fact, I might start doing that because I'm kind of wondering how certain of these people that had the, we're always talking about Christian conservative and all this stuff, and all of a sudden they're not kicked off of YouTube. That's very suspicious.
Yeah, why is Flashpoint still on YouTube?
Scenes. And pretty soon, a lot of people, a lot of churches don't even get to talk about Jesus. And now I'm going to do one thing here. I'm going to say, I'm going to have coming up, I think what I'm going to have in the future is another big event. And we're going to bite the pastors of our country. All the church pastors.
It's going to be a 3-day God symposium.
Speaking out in your churches, everybody. This right here is...
This is live. Otherwise, I would zip forward in this past to when he starts doing the audio. Holy shit.
Now, this is the greatest time for the greatest revival in history. You're sitting there praying, get out.
Jesus, this asshole is as repetitive as Trump.
All the churches need to get out there, and these pastors need to...
Do you have to be a certified God expert to be able to get credentials? Will you be inviting the press and religious people and God himself?
What, are you afraid of some Johnson law? We're not talking about...
I am not afraid of Mike Johnson.
Our country. We're talking about evil coming into our country. This attack by China. It's over. You talk about end times. If you're a pastor, get up and talk about that. But at least start speaking out. All of you big evangelists out there, you better start talking about the 2020 election. And you better start talking about machines and vaccines.
Vaccines? That's it. Now they're going to play the clips.
To come back on is Mike's announcing a daily show, 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. The Lindell Report with Mike Lindell.
Oh, and he's got somewhere to be.
In Central Time.
His dealer's showing up in about 25 minutes.
Speech.com.
The Johnson law. He's talking about Lyndon Johnson had this rule about tax exemption for churches, and if they start politicizing their talk or whatever, they could possibly lose their tax exempt status.
After I invented my pill, they said, "How could you keep talking about a pill with that much compassion?" Because it works. Because it helps so many people. How can I keep talking about this 2020 election? Because it's 100% true what happened.
No, it isn't. Your delusion, again, like pillows all aside, but what the fuck? Why would anyone take that seriously? Look, as a stand-up and doing this show, I believe in it. I believe in what I say as a stand-up. I believe in what I say when I'm on here. And so that's why I talk about it. That doesn't guarantee that everything I say in my stand-up actually occurred. Like if I tell a joke, the fact that I do it with exuberance does not guarantee that it occurred in reality exactly the way I'm relating it, especially if it's a comedy.
We have a platform where you put stuff on just like Rumble, just like YouTube, just like...
No, not just like that. You don't have other people.
You're not going to get deplatformed. That's where I spent millions of dollars worth. That's what makes my total in the tens of millions that I put into this. And so everybody just... what we're going to do, I think, tomorrow, and maybe by tomorrow night, we're going to go through the checklist of taking the fear out of people so we can really get everybody on board. Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you. All right, folks, we're signing off for tonight. Mike Lindell, 11 a.m. Central Time tomorrow, right here at frankspeech.com on Lindell TV.
Wait a minute. He kept talking after that bullshit? They just threw that? That was a totally different clip? For fuck's sake.